Here's another fusion dish that pretends to be something that it isn't, namely Malaysian. A few decades ago, when Tiki-themed restaurants were still the rage, such dishes were not only accepted blindly as being authentic, but they also made for sensational dinner theater with flaming tableside presentations. This really is delicious though, and although your results will be even better if you can cook it on a grill, even in an ordinary oven the flavor is almost magical, even if it is ultimately unauthentic in terms of being Malaysian.
A huge pan, very boiling water. Put our chicken in it. It has to be big enough to hold the whole chicken, of course. Just for about 1 minute. And this will kill the bacteria that are on the outside, for one thing. It'll also suck up the skin, make it tighter. And that's about long enough. You have to be really careful not to burn yourself with water that's going to drip out of there now. A bit colander. Let it drain, and then we'll transfer it to the refrigerator. Making the glaze, I've got already in the pot onions, the fresh red chilies, dried red chilies, garlic. I'm going to add to this the orange zest, sugar, and orange juice. And I'm going to heat this up to a simmer and let. This is the level of slow simmer you want to keep it at. After about an hour, it finally starts to become very thick and foam up. This is the stage that we were trying to get it to slowly. If you could see this, very thick now. So now that we've reached that caramel stage, I'm going to add the butter in, and I've killed the heat. I'm just going to let the residual heat from this melt the butter. And then, while it's still warm, you need to work it through a sieve. You can't be slow on this because once it cools down, it'll be too thick. You won't be able to get it through the sieve. Now, once it's through the sieve, we're going to thin it out just a little bit with about a tablespoon of lemon juice. So keep it from getting so thick you can't even spread it later. Then you taste it. I suggest adding a little Tabasco chipotle to this. Add a few drops to punch it up a little bit and add that little smoky background notes to it. You don't have to. Chicken sat overnight in the refrigerator exposed to the air, so it's really dried out now. I'm just going to get rid of these wing tips. They're never good for anything. And we're going to begin painting it. Just go around the entire chicken with this, obviously, and then we're going to turn it over and get the other side as well. And after a couple minutes, you get the entire chicken coated, and this coating is going to stick to the chicken really nicely because it's already practically a solid anyway. And then when you put it on the cold chicken, you'll see it just turns into like a coating. After 30 minutes, I take this out, flip it over, and we'll touch it up with a little bit more of the glaze here. And this back in here. Here we are after another 30 minutes. And I turn this chicken over again. It's still cooking. All this time it's been cooking at 300, but now I'm going to 300 Fahrenheit, that is. Now I'm increasing the temperature of the oven, and I'm putting the last of the glaze over the top of this. You want a fairly heavy glaze on it this time. You can pick up some of the, if there's a lot that fell off in the pan, you can pick up some of that. Should be just about the right amount. side too. Now the oven temperature is increasing right now. I already turned it up. As soon as I get this brushed on, then it'll go back in the oven for the final cook. And you keep an eye on it at this point. Make sure that it cooks, but it doesn't burn. It's going to take you somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Then you're going to transfer this off to a plate. Now that it's golden, we've removed it to a plate. The pan, going to add a little bit of water to this and scrape up the bottom here. I'm going to pass this to a sieve, return it to a boil. Now I'm going to add those fresh chilies to it. Reduce this a little bit more, quite a bit more actually. I'm reducing this fairly high boil. I don't usually do it, but I do it for this. And when you get it down about halfway, add that white balsamic vinegar and reduce it a little bit more. And when you've reduced it down enough, now you're going to add this chopped scallions. And you might need to taste it, see if it's, in fact you do need to taste it, adjust the salt level. Now the key to this dish, from whence it gets its name, is that when you're actually ready, you're going to go over the whole thing with a blowtorch and give that skin the final crisp up that it needs. Don't be shy. This is going to caramelize the sugars and give it a really nice texture and flavor. And this is what we end up with. Beautiful table presentation too. Very theatrical.
Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.